meeting is being recorded.
This is Rockin' with J-Man. It's with Deborah Bonham. How you doing, girl?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to be on your show. Heard a lot about you.
Oh, well,
So that's good. Thank you for having me.
no, really. It's really my pleasure. Thank you so much for being on my show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure, sweetheart. It's really good.
How's life treating you?
Good. I mean, now that we've all opened up in the UK after the pandemic, and we're well, and we've started playing again, and it's just great to be back out playing. And with the new album coming out, we're playing new songs from that. So it's really exciting time right now. It's good.
For those who are watching and not familiar with you, tell me all about yourself.
Wow. Well, I've been in music for a long, long time. I decided to be a singer, songwriter, and I've done various albums, but this new album is an album we've called ourselves Bonham-Bullick, and that's because Peter, who you've just met, is a guitarist and he's my husband, and it's a partnership. And we have a band that we've been playing in for many, many, many years. And so we've done this new project. It's called Bonham-Bullick, and we've done 13 songs of other people's songs, some obscure, some a classic blues, all sort of blues rock. And it's coming out on Quarter Valley Records in California, who have been just fantastic. And we're ready to go. We're ready to start touring, and hopefully we'll be over in America and seeing you in the fall. That's the plan. That's what we want to do.
Do you ever want to go to Europe?
Oh, we're off to Europe. When do we go, Pete? We're in Europe. We start touring 6th of April here in the UK. But when do we go to Europe, Pete? Is it April, May?
We go to Europe in May. We do Holland and Belgium.
Okay.
And France?
Then we go back to France in June.
Yeah, so we've got a few going on in Europe, which is great, because we love it there too.
And then the other shows are England, Scotland, and Wales, all in the UK.
All right. Your upcoming album, Bonham-Bullick, is coming out next month. How excited are you for this release?
Well, this is like real exciting, because we spent a while making the album. We really enjoyed it. It was other people's songs, so it was like we were looking after other people's children. So we had to take really good care of the songs, but make them slightly different to how they originally were, so that we put our mark on it. Sounded like us, and we sound kind of blues rocky with a bit of soul, kind of, So it's the band's very powerful, Great drummer, great guitarist. It's very pretty with the beard going slightly grey. And
now.
and the singer looks and sounds okay too.
Thank you so much.
Your first single is Classics Blue cover, I Can't See What You're Doing to Me. What made you decide on this track?
You tell it, Pete.
Hey, well, he's King is a legendary guitarist, a big blues man, and one of the three kings, and he's and it was we wanted an up-tempo kind of blues rocky song, and we chose that, which is kind of a difficult one to choose because he does it so well anyway. So we had to do it, I guess, slightly different. But I guess part of the thing that makes it a bit different is like a girl singing. So that makes it quite a bit different to start with.
Yeah, but also we put it into a different timing, really, because you can't make it the same. You can't copy what Albert King did. So we've done our own interpretation of it, but being ultra respectful, we feel to Albert King. And we just did it differently, really, because you can't better what he did. So you've got to sort of find your own way and do it organically and find that sweet spot where you're all happy with it and it's you playing it but you're doing an interpretation of Albert King's song. So that's what we did. It took a while to get there, but we got there.
Tell me about the rest of the album.
The rest of the album, well, it's lots of other people's songs that are all, some are classic and some are very obscure. And we just, pardon?
Name a few.
Well, there was See You Again, that's been written by a fantastic singer-songwriter who has been the backing vocalist for the Rolling Stones for many years, and his name's Bernard Fowler. Absolutely brilliant vocalist, songwriter. So we've done a version of his song called See You Again. And then there's another guy called Mark Lanigan who sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago, but again, immense talented singer-songwriter. He was in the Screaming Trees, frontman of the Screaming Trees. So there's one of his songs. There's a Sam Cooke song, Trouble Blues. There's an Ann Peebles song. But they're all rooted in the blues, and that's what the idea is. It's sort of blues with a blues rock, but rooted very much in the blues and soul. And yeah, that's and that's what we decided to do, and it's been great.
So for those who have never heard your music yet, how would you describe your sound?
I don't know. What do you reckon, Pete? How would you describe the band, the music?
I would say it's quite a powerhouse blues rock band, with a very sort of strong powerhouse singer out front, strutting and posing, and then the guitarist is wailing and screaming and squeaking, and it's the drummer is thumping away, the bass player is rumbling. It's a real great sound, and it's full of energy and
full of energy,
it's pretty cool. I mean, we've had a few great people you might have heard of play with us and everything, because they think the band's pretty cool as well.
So name them then.
Who? Robert Plant gets up and plays with us sometimes. He was in a band with Debbie's brother, who was John Bonham, and they had a little beat combo called Led Zeppelin in the 60s and 70s. And then do you know Paul Rogers? He had a band called Bad Company and Free.
Yeah, you were in.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Well, I play with him as well. He's got a band called Free Spirit, and we toured America and the UK in 2017 and 2018, and we played with Jeff Beck and Ann Wilson from Heart, who's over there in the States. And so a great bunch of people jump up and play with us every so often, and we play with other people, and it's all a great team.
Who came up with the idea to do an album with your husband?
Whose idea? Well, we've always done it. We met 32 years ago, so a lot of years ago, and we've sort of been in a band ever since. So we've made other records together. So yeah, we've just always done this, and it's fun sometimes, and sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes it's just brilliant. So yeah, it was nobody's sort of idea. We just met, and then that was it. And he was a guitarist, I was a singer-songwriter, and we just joined forces, and that was that. I think that's about the way of it, isn't it, Pete?
Yep, that's her.
I'm not sure it would have been good if somebody had said to me, "You must do an album with your husband," or "You must do an album with your wife." I think Pete might have, especially if his wife couldn't sing, it might have been really difficult. Luckily, I could sing, and luckily he can play guitar, so we were okay.
How long have you guys been married?
Married?
Yes.
22 years.
Okay.
I think 22 years, Pete,
21.
coming up.
21.
22 coming up. 21 coming up. Oh,
yeah,
I don't
think
know.
it was 2001, was it?
I don't know. I lost count after the first,
In 2001 was the year.
21 years coming up. Yeah, 21 years.
We got married on Friday the 13th.
We did. Friday the 13th. It's been good luck for us, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, wow. Friday the 13th, eh?
Yeah.
Didn't scare us.
Scared everybody else, but it didn't scare us.
And your husband is a famous guitar player and was a member of Bad Company. Is that right?
Well, me, not quite Bad Company, but the singer from Bad Company's a guy called Paul Rodgers. And he had two very big famous bands. First of all, he had a band called Free from 1969 till about 73. And then he formed Bad Company. And then he sort of written other projects by himself as well and gone out. So nowadays, or of late, the past sort of 6 years or so that maybe I've worked with him. Actually, I've worked with him probably 10 years. We go out as Paul Rodgers, and he calls the band, which is Deborah's band, the Deborah Bonham band. He uses all of us, me on guitar, Ian on bass, Rich the drummer, and G, our keyboard player, the G man. He uses all of us to back him, and when we go out and we do all the songs of Free, and when we did toured America, we did mix the songs with Bad Company songs as well. So it's called Paul Rodgers, and Paul Rodgers Free Spirit. So it's not. It wouldn't be right to say I was the guitarist in Bad Company, but I'm the guitarist with the singer in Bad Company when we do a project called Free Spirit. So it's so we do get to play Bad Company songs, which is great, because I was listening to Bad Company. Oh, I was playing Bad Company songs probably when I was about your age. What age are you now? 25? That's one for Deborah.
He's looking good for 25.
Yeah. I guess I age fast, don't I?
No, you haven't aged at all. You're looking good. By the time you're 70, you're just going to look about 25.
Now, how many covers are on it?
13. They're all other people's songs. It's the first
we
time.
like that. We like that number 13.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That's strange, isn't it? Because all the other albums have been 13 tracks. And then this one, and then we got married on the 13th. Yeah. Maybe that's our lucky number.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
So 13 tracks, all different, all other people's songs.
Yeah, and I like 13 chicken wings, and I like 13 ribs, and I like 13 beers.
How did you guys go about choosing the songs?
Oh, well, we had a couple of friends send us songs, people who know us really well, and said, I think this would be a great song for you. And then we had the songs as well. And we had about over 100 songs at one point. And then I just went through them all to really try and figure which ones would work for us, knowing the band like I do. And we've all been together for so long. I was able to really listen to the song. And as much as I loved whichever song it was, I could hear whether we could do it justice or not. So I just listened over and over and went, yeah, I know that one will be, we can bring something to that. This one I love, but I know for us. So that's how I chose them. And then once I'd chosen them, I played them to the band and put them on a I was going to say CD. I think I still use CDs, but I think some of them downloaded them. And then we listened and went, yeah, we had to go, went in the studio and started to do them.
And you recorded it at Peter Gabriel's studio, right?
No, we mixed it at Peter Gabriel's studio at Real World with a fantastic sound engineer called Tim Oliver. Absolutely amazing mix sound engineer, and he mixed the album for us and mastered it for us. No, we recorded it in a little chapel down the road from where we live that's been converted into a recording studio. So it had a fantastic sound in the main room for the drums. They sounded really live and really good.
The Old Chapel Studios in Chichester.
Old Chapel Studios, yeah, that's it. So it was a fantastic studio, and then the two engineers there were Paul Burton and Dave Evans. And then after we finished it there, we took it over to Peter Gabriel's studio, which was fantastic.
Are you friends with him?
No, I don't know him. I just know Tim Oliver, who obviously knows him very, very well. But no, he wasn't there when we went, because I would have loved to have met him. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Peter Gabriel fan, so I would have loved to have met him. But no, it didn't happen this time, because we could only go for one day because of the pandemic at the time. So Peter wasn't around. He wasn't going into the studio. So, but there'll come a time, I hope.
A lot of bands record at home these days with the technology out there. What was it like being at the studio?
Fantastic. I mean, I'm just not. I'm not techie at all. I find it difficult to do. This is the first time I've done Zoom. Doing these interviews. I'm not a tech. I still use a pen. I still write. I write letters. So we've got a great rehearsal room, and we've done an album in there before. We did the last album in there. It's a very cool place. An engineer brought all his equipment, and we did it that way. But this time the studio is literally at the bottom of our hill, the chapel studio. So it just made sense to go there. And it just felt, it's got a lovely vibe in that chapel, in the old chapel studio. So yeah, we decided to go that road this time instead. And it was brilliant. It's great being in a studio, because you've got to, you're paying for the time, so you have to get on with it. You have to work hard. You can't sort of just go, let's just go back into the house and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of guests on the album, right?
Say again?
You have a lot of guests on the album, right?
Yeah, we've got, it's just they're friends, really. People that we've been involved with for a long time.
We've got
Pete,
Andy Stoller from Heart.
Yeah, Andy Stoller from Heart. Do you want to tell the guests?
We got John Hogg from Magpie Salute. And do you know them? They were Rich Robinson from the Black Crowes. He had a band with John Hogg, and he does all the backing vocals. We've got Paul Brown from the Waterboys on keyboards. He also played with Ann Peebles and Bobby Rush. And we've got John Baggett from Portishead, and he's also in Robert Plant's Strange Sensation band. We've got Marco Giovino, who was in the Band of Joy. We've got crikey, BJ Cole, who was with 70s band Humble Pie, recorded with them, and more recently people like Emmylou Harris. Crikey, have I got everyone yet, do you think?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Good bunch of guys.
But they're all friends, they're just people that we've just known along the way, and it was just lovely to have them come and do a track here and there. It was just fantastic.
Now, your brother was the famous Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham. Did you ever?
Bonham, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever cover any of his songs?
No, not for me. We've occasionally live done a Led Zeppelin track. We've done When the Levee Breaks. Robert Plant got up and did that with us. We've done rock and roll, but really, no. We do our own stuff, and on this album. No, that's what I was about to say. On this album, I wouldn't really want to even try to do Led Zeppelin songs. That was my brother, not me. So yeah, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm not the biggest fan and I love every song that they've done. But I love what they've done. I wouldn't even want to go near it to try and do a different version. I just love what they've done. But so, yeah.
You two had a big age gap between you, didn't you?
Yeah, what, between me and my brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 years. 14 years age gap. So yeah, he was my big brother, my big brother, and he was very protective and very loving, and just like a big brother should be, you know.
So you were 6 when the first started out, or
Yeah.
did you ever like their music when you were little?
Oh, I loved it from the minute I heard it. From the minute I heard Led Zeppelin, that was me. I'm, you know, I went to the concerts. I've got the T-shirts, and I still play them, much to Pete's annoyance sometimes at home, if I've got it on too loud. Yeah, no, I love Led Zeppelin from the minute I heard them. They're just one of the most amazing bands, and I was very, very fortunate to grow up with that.
When you were very very young, when they came back really famous, did you ever realize that back then?
Did I ever realize
they were very famous back then?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think when I was really young, probably not. It wasn't until I went to see. Mind you, I was really young when I went to see them, but the first time I went to see them, and there was all these thousands of screaming fans. Yeah, I mean, I was more in shock, I think, because it was crazy. Then, as I got older, and I went to see them at Nebworth, their last UK show in 1979, and there was over 100,000 people there. It was incredible. So yeah, you know, I guess I got it as I got a little bit older. It's a strange thing when it's your family, when it's your brother, you know, because at home he was just my big brother. He was still John, and he was still, you know, the drummer of Led Zeppelin. But, you know, we used to do lots of silly things together. You know, he was very funny, and there'd be lots of, you know, chasing around the fields, and I don't know. It was just, there was a lot of humor went on all the time, and lots of family parties. So you sort of tended to forget that, you know, the following week he'd be out on a stage in front of thousands of people. So no, at home he was my big brother. He was John. He was the family man. And then he'd go out and play with Led Zeppelin. He was the drummer of Led Zeppelin.
Can you tell me some stories you remember about your brother?
Can I tell you some stories
about your brother when you remember?
I'm trying to think of some. I mean, he was just.
Did he get up and play at your 6th birthday party?
He did, but the funniest story was some years later, about 10 years later, we were in the south of France, and right down on the very, very tip of the south of France, which is thousands of miles away from where we lived in England. And John suddenly decided he wanted an Indian curry. He loved Indian curries.
Oh.
And so we thought, okay, we'll find a place, you know, there'll be somewhere down here in south of France that sells Indian curry. And oh no, he got to have the one from his hometown. So he got Matthew, who worked for him, to get in the car and drive all the way back, thousands of miles back to Kidderminster, where we used to live on the outskirts of Kidderminster, right in the centre of England, and buy all these curries and then put them in a big bag and drive all the way back to the south of France with these curries. And he was so happy about it. When the curries arrived, he was like, yay, I got my curry. So yeah, he would do crazy things every now and then. He could be very, very funny.
Man, he really wanted that curry, didn't he?
He really wanted that curry. And I tell you, he just loved curry. He loved it. And especially from this one place. So he decided, no, he'd got to have that one.
Did he like have it when he was like very young and just loved it from then?
Yeah, well, I think curry sort of came into our lives probably in the 60s.
Okay.
I think it might have been sort of late 60s by the time he tasted his first curry. And then that was it. He was hooked. He just absolutely loved it.
Did you ever get to see them play somewhere really big?
Yeah, the Nebworth, and that was in the UK. And that was about 100,000 people, if not more. It was a fantastic, fantastic show. They were on with some other bands. Todd Rundgren was on, opened up for them. And they were absolutely brilliant, Todd Rundgren band. And it was August 1979. I went to see them there. So a lot of years ago.
So you're only a few years older than his son, Jason. Did you guys ever grow up together?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then we started playing in bands together. Jason's played on our albums. We went on tour with him, didn't we, Pete?
Yeah.
In the late 90s, we toured America with Jason, opening up for his band.
We did the House of Blues in Los Angeles. That tour started with, and House of Blues in LA, and Slash from Guns N' Roses got up and played guitar with us that night. And then we went off around all the other House of Blues around America, and a whole bunch. We went every state and every city.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
It's fantastic. Yeah.
So Robert Plant was your mentor?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think he's been a massive inspiration, and he's the person I go to for guidance without a doubt. He's so incredibly knowledgeable about music and music sound production. He has this immense understanding of music and of bands and players. So yeah, I mean, without a doubt, he's the one I go to ask if I'm if I'm trying to figure out if something's good, if a song's is right, if we've done it right. Without a doubt, his opinion matters to me big time, because I mean he's just so knowledgeable in that whole sphere, and so brilliant at what he does. So yeah, he's been an inspiration since I was very small, from the first time I saw him sing, and it all the way through his solo career. I mean, he made that transition from Led Zeppelin into doing solo music, and it seemed to just ease into his solo career. I'm sure it wasn't that easy, but he made it seem so easy, and his solo albums have been phenomenal. So, and now he's working with Alison Krauss in a totally different genre again that suits his voice now, and it's absolutely superb. So, yeah, I mean, he's quite an icon. And he's a good drinking buddy of Pete's as well.
Except not tonight. He's got to see the football tonight.
Oh.
Robert Plant. He's going to see his favourite football team tonight, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Up the Wolves.
Yeah, they're playing as we speak.
Okay.
Who are they playing against?
Do you know? I don't know. That's a bit naughty, isn't it? I could look it up. Shall I look it up and find out who they're playing?
Okay.
You ought to know.
I know.
You ought to know.
Technology, eh?
So you guys carry on. I'll find out I might even find out if there's any score yet.
Okay. Andy encouraged you to send out demos for your first album, For You and the Moon?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started singing, we used to go around Jason and I used to ring him up, and because he lived in the next village, and we used to ring him up. He had a small studio in his barn, and this is the days before any digital recording or anything. It was a 4-track tape, And so we used to ring up and say, can we come round and have a go at recording something? So yeah, that's what we did. And then I said to him, how do you get to the next level? What do you do? And he said, well, you've got to get out and pay your dues on stage. So you want to get out and play, and then you want to send off some songs and see how you get on. It wasn't actually him that said anonymously. I decided to do that myself.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, there's a wow.
He'll be a very happy man tonight. Wolves are playing Watford tonight. Now, Watford are Elton John's team.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Wolves are Robert Plant's team. So it was 4-0 to Wolves. It's finished.
Oh, my goodness. That's pretty good.
Score, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So he'll be a happy man tonight.
Yeah, he sure would.
Well, he's a happy man most nights.
Did you let people know you were related to rock and roll royalty?
Do I let them know?
Yeah.
When I meet people, no.
Okay.
No. I mean, if they know already, or it might end up coming out, but no. It's, if it comes out, it's fine. If it doesn't, there's no place to bring it out, unless somebody actually asks me, and that's fine. And if the moment is right, that's fine, but not in normal conversations, or not as normally. But quite a lot of people know. So most of the people I meet already know.
Now, your first 2 albums were never released in the States, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That was because they were with smaller record companies. So it wasn't until the 3rd album, the Duchess album that we did with Rhino in the US. So the others didn't get released, but they are going to be released now after this one with Quarto Valley Records. So that'll be great.
Do you plan on re-releasing them?
Yeah, hopefully with Quarto Valley Records. Yeah, that's correct, isn't it, Pete? We're hoping that those records will be out with Quarto Valley.
Yeah, they're going to re-release them probably later in the year or next year. So yeah, we got the Spirit album, the Duchess album, and the Old Hyde album. They'll be back out.
Yeah.
How did you get your break here in the States?
Pete?
How did you get what?
How did you get your break here back in the States?
How did we get our breaks in the States? Well, the first break was probably in the late 90s with Jason Bonham's band. Jason had made some, he'd had a gold disc in America. Then, so when he went back out on tour and invited us to be the opening band for him, I guess that was our first break in the States. And then after that, it was Paul Rodgers brought us out playing with him. And then we went back again on our own. So yeah, I guess our breaks, Jason Bonham's been very great for us on giving us our stateside break, followed by Paul Rodgers.
And you toured with your cousin Jason. That has to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great. It was quite a long time ago. It was the late 90s. So yeah, it would be cool to do it again. Yeah, it was great fun. Too much fun back in the 90s. Actually, it was a little bit too much fun. Yeah, I think we've all grown a bit older and a bit more careful. And what's the word?
Yeah. Pete? I don't know. People aren't allowed to have as much fun as that nowadays.
Well, we're too old.
Did you and the rest of Led Zeppelin stay close after your brother's passing?
Yes. I'm very, very, or we are very, very close to Robert. We speak to Jimmy quite often. I don't see John Paul Jones so much, but yes, if I see him, it's great to see him. So yeah, we've all stayed in touch.
What is your favorite Led Zeppelin song?
Yeah, that's a tough question because I love all of them. I don't know. I have a favorite on each album, but I don't have one favorite in particular. I mean,
I think for me, it's probably the very first song they did on their very first album.
So
how
the
much
very,
is that?
so the very first ever?
Good times, bad times, maybe.
Good times, bad times.
You like? I mean, I love that. I love Ramble On. I love Kashmir. I love Achilles' Last Stand. I love all of them. I just don't have a particular favorite. There's so many that I think are just amazing.
And then I like one of their last songs as well. Their first and last songs. One of their last songs was called "In the Evening," and that was a fantastic.
Yeah, I love "In the Evening" from In Through the Outdoor. Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't particularly have just one favorite. There's many that I love. Depends what mood I'm in.
Would you be upset if they did a reunion tour with Jason on drums?
No, not at all. The reunion that they did do with Jason was absolutely sublime. It was brilliant. His father would have been so proud of him. He did it, and that's a big challenge for him to do. Well, not challenge. It was a big thing for him to do, to go and sit in his father's seat and play with those guys. And he did it. He did it, and he did it so well. His father would have been really proud. And I think the rest of the band thought were just over the moon with how he performed.
As a challenge for Jason, I don't think physically it was a challenge for him, because I think he naturally knows how to play all this stuff. Yeah. Mentally and spiritually, that must have been a hell of a challenge for him, because
there you go. Yeah,
the emotion, or emotionally, maybe is the term. It was probably
emotionally,
very, very, very tough emotionally.
Gosh.
But if anyone was going to play those songs like his father, it was him. It's almost second nature to him. He's that good.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would, if anybody can do it, it's Jason. It's totally Jason all day long.
You should call those guys and make that happen, because I would love to see it.
I'll tell them that you want it to happen.
I think that they're just sitting there waiting for that call.
One person.
I think you should call them, not me. You should call them, or get Pete to call them. That's the thing to do.
Okay. Hey, we're putting the band back together.
Yeah, that would be great.
The Jam Man wants to see you.
It's my grandparents' favorite group, actually.
Yeah. That's cool. And I guess, they keep going through the time. It keeps passing from one generation to the next. It's fantastic. That's how music should be.
So what do you think about Greta Van Fleet?
Greta Van Fleet?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're great. I mean, it's steeped in early Led Zeppelin, but I think they're great. What do you think, Pete? Do you play Greta Van Fleet much?
Greta Van Fleet, I have not put them on yet.
You thought it was a woman, didn't you? You thought Greta Van Fleet was a 1930s black and white movie star.
Yeah, is it not? Was she not in a movie with Humphrey Bogart and?
There you go.
They're not out in a boat together. No, I've not really listened to Greta Van Fleet. I have heard they're absolutely fantastic, though.
Yeah.
And I've also heard that some people compare them to Led Zeppelin, but
I
haven't made that comparison because I haven't heard enough of them. But
they do get compared. But I mean, it's just anybody who sings that type of music, people tend to say, "Oh, it sounds like Led Zeppelin," but they don't. I mean, Led Zeppelin had their own absolute unique sound. and
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet have got their sound. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's.
I guess like everyone, that Led Zeppelin and bands like that have influenced so many people. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just, you can tell they've heard Led Zeppelin albums, which all of us have.
Yeah. So are there mandates over in your country? No more masks and things opening up after the pandemic?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
masks.
Mask and stuff. Do you have anything like opening up and no more mask?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. All our restrictions are now finished with. So everything is opened up in the UK. So that's how we're able to go and tour, because it's all opened up. I mean, the virus is still there and people have to be careful. We're just trying to learn to live with the virus, really. But nobody is getting, most of the UK, nearly all the UK has been vaccinated. So people aren't dying of it anymore.
Good, that's good.
Which is a great thing. So people are just being careful, but yeah, it's all opened back up. We're pretty much back to normal, really. I think a few people are still being a bit nervous about it, and rightly so. But on the whole, it's all opened up. All the restrictions have been lifted, and it's business as usual. So we're able to start touring on April 6th.
Are you safe where you were at? Because I know there's like a war going on over there. Are you safe?
We're safe. It is. There's a terrible, terrible war happening in the Ukraine. It's unbelievably sad.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, and we're watching it daily. And it's so sad. There's no need for war. There's no need ever. That Ukraine are a wonderful people and a wonderful country. And what's happening there now is just
Awful.
It's the worst thing ever. And it's very, very sad. And we just hope and pray that there will be an end, a peaceful end to this. We hope that these megalomaniac, power crazy leaders that want to keep fighting, and I mean, I don't know, I don't understand war, but we're safe here at the moment. I just pray for peace.
Just really sad what they're doing over there, and there's no need, really, is
No, there is absolutely no need whatsoever. Never any need for war. And it's difficult to know what to do, but we just want to try and raise some money for for the humanitarian crisis, and try and help whichever way we can. There's not much that anybody can do except try and raise money. That's all we can do. And hope that the big leaders of all the countries can get together and bring an end to this, and peace be restored again, because that's all we can hope for and pray for.
What are your touring plans like for the rest of the year?
Touring, that's the plan. I think being out on the road, doing what we haven't done for a couple of years due to the pandemic. So yes, we'll be out on the road. Have you got any other plans, Pete?
Out on the road, down to the pub.
I knew you were going to say you're going to the pub.
I know there's a post-match beer going on. I've just had a WhatsApp. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Looks like I'm doing the next interview on my own then, is it?
Yeah, we've got to discuss the great football win tonight.
Okay.
What was the last time you guys played live?
Last week.
It was last week. Yeah.
Yeah, we played last week in London, and that was a fantastic show. We did about 6 songs off the new album, and we were playing with another band who are called the Band of Friends, and they're basically the guys that played with Rory Gallagher. Are you familiar with Rory Gallagher, Jam Man?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard him before.
Yeah, look him up. He's not around anymore, but he was an Irish blues man who was pretty big around the world. So we played with his band last week. That was good fun in London.
You think you might tour the States again? Think you might?
Yep, we're hoping to get over to the States by fall. And if not the fall, it'll probably be early 2023.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see you.
You got to come see us if we come over. You can be our special guest.
Where will you guys be headed? Because I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Are you in Buffalo? Well, do you know what? Buffalo make my favorite food.
Wings?
Oh, not your buffalo wings.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
My man.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Jam Man, what's the best sauce on a buffalo wing?
I'm pretty sure hot sauce. That's my best.
Yeah.
Always.
Frank's is good, isn't it? Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah.
That's a tasty one. And you know they do a Texas Pete sauce as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, try some of that.
Oh wow! I can see you two. Yeah, when we come and play New York, and you've got to come, Jam Man. I can see you two. That's it. You'll be backstage with the buffalo wings.
Oh my god!
Sauce is the best.
Oh my god!
No good for me. I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we let her have all the celery and slaw. That's what she gets.
Celery and slaw.
Really
no chilies either. I can't do the chili stuff either.
Man, that's a shame.
I know, I'm completely boring. So you'll be hanging out with Pete. Yeah. He's not allowed to be any Jack Daniels though. You're not allowed that yet.
No. I'm not.
No.
She's hot stuff already.
Thank you so much, Pete.
Yeah, you are very beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Well,
show.
Yes.
Favorite memory.
Probably when I got the notes right.
Yeah. Favorite memory. I don't know. There was so many, isn't there? We've been really blessed to have been on stage with our heroes, you know. I mean, playing with Robert Plant and Paul Rogers.
Sometimes some of the memories are actually the audience reaction. Sometimes you hit an emotion with members of the audience a lot of the times, and you've seen people cry or laugh and that's a great memory of any show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whenever it touches someone, that's
Can you really name one?
Well, I can actually. It's terribly sad, this one, but when we did Paul Rogers' show and we played the Paul Rogers song "Love You So," and the people at the front of the stage burst into tears. And it's a terribly sad story, this, because it's like, and we found out afterwards it was their daughter's favorite song, and their daughter had died early and they buried her to this song. So when we played that song, they absolutely broke down into uncontrollable tears right in front of us while we were playing. So we were thinking, oh my God, something terribly powerful has just happened. And we found out afterwards it was because her daughter had died. So that's quite a weight to carry and be connected to and be involved in when you're playing an instrument or playing with a band. It's very powerful music like that.
Music is, though. Music always is powerful and passionate, and yeah. There's been some happy ones as well, but yeah.
Oh yeah, well, one of the happier ones was whenever I wore a kilt once, Jam Man.
You did?
And, we were on tour with a Scottish band, and they're a Scottish rock band called Nazareth. So they thought it was funny I was wearing a kilt, because they normally do. So they turned me up. So just before we went on stage, they turned me upside down and to take my underwear off, because real Scotsmen don't wear any underwear when they wear a kilt. So they sort of ripped my pants off or ripped my knickers off and sent me on stage with commando with a kilt.
They sound like they just took advantage of you.
They did. It was terrible.
I
Me
looked
too.
around, and all the band had got him upside down, pulling his pants off. I was just glad that they were clean ones and they were good new pants and not his old baggy things.
Yeah.
Ah.
There you go. So look out for any guitarist wearing a kilt. Just wonder what's under that. It's terrible.
I wonder what the band have done to him before he went on the stage.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh. What is your worst?
Worst memory?
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I think you can tell that one, Pete. When you forgot to come in on that solo and you had those big boots on.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
come all the way across the stage in your big biker boots.
yeah. The audience, a big sad song, and the audience were silent, and it was my part to come in, and I was at the side of the stage, and I realized I'd switched my guitar off, and it was by the tuner pedal at the front of the stage. So I had to walk across the stage in this complete silent part of the song, and all you heard was me with my big boots going
clunk, 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 clunk. This clunky, great big clunk going across a wooden stage.
over to switch on my guitar again so that I could do the guitar solo. That was quite embarrassing, and much to the amusement of the drummer, who just laughed.
The drummer was at the back of the side of the stage with our technician guy. And have you heard of the Wacky Races?
Yeah.
Dick Dastardly and
Have you
Muttley.
ever seen the Wacky Races?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Dick Dastardly and Muttley used to have a laugh.
Dick Dastardly and Muttley. Muttley the dog used to do this laugh, and that's all you could hear at the side of this stage. That was it. That was the laugh. That was Muttley's laugh.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing at the side of the stage. And I wasn't very happy, I can tell you, Jam Man. I really wasn't pleased.
Yeah. And of course, that made me laugh all the more, because they were just trying to be really quiet, going.
Just somebody going in the background like. I can't.
Yeah. Oh dear.
It was all wrong, because it was a very sad song. The audience were all very sad and emotional, and everybody behind the stage is going.
It did break that up, though. I mean, the audience saw the funny side of it. I didn't, but the audience did.
Oh
dear.
What do you do on your downtime for fun?
Downtime for fun?
Yes.
Well, Pete goes to the pub. I've got rescued horses and a rescued donkey, and rescued dogs. So I love being with them and occasionally joining Pete at the pub. And you play football, don't you, Pete?
Yeah, I play soccer once a week. Used to play it a lot more than that, but yeah.
You good at it? You good at
it?
Yeah.
I scored a hat trick last week.
You're gonna be the next Rondo? I can't say his name. He's the best football player in the world right now.
George Best.
I think that was a bit before Jam Man's time, to be honest.
I know. George Best was a Belfast footballer. That's where I'm from, Belfast in Ireland.
Was he very good? I never heard.
He was very good, and he always had Miss World as girlfriends and stuff. So and flash cars, flash women.
You'll have to look him up, Jam Man. He was absolutely one of the greatest footballers. Like Pele and Maradona, he was one of the greatest footballers of all time, George Best.
What is next for you?
What's next?
Yeah.
Another interview in 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got another interview pretty quickly.
Oh, God. I had no idea. Okay.
No, neither did I. I just looked at the clock and I thought, oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
It's okay. You're fine. We've been having a lovely time with you.
I've been having a lovely time with you guys, too. It's been a wonderful chat.
It's been great. Yeah, really great. So next for us is, promoting the album and going out on tour, and hopefully we'll be over to see you. It would be great if you're if you can come to one of the concerts on the East Coast. That would be fantastic.
I can. I'm pretty sure I can. We're trying to go out in the open now with everything going down and everything.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it'll
excellent.
be towards the end of the year, or maybe, as Pete said, the beginning of next year. So we'll be sure to let you know. We'd love to see you.
Hey, quick also thing. Can you try to talk to Robert Plant to get him on my show?
Oh, well, you better tell Pete, because Pete's about to go and have a drink with him. So, Pete.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to say. I say, never
You
mind
gotta
about
do-
the Wolves football. Jam Man wants you.
Jam Man a favor.
How do my followers follow you?
Say
Sorry?
again?
How do my followers follow you where they can like support you and stuff?
Oh, on Facebook.
And Twitter.
It's just Deborah Bonham, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah. Facebook, Deborah Bonham.
Twitter. Deborah Bonham. And the website, yeah, and YouTube.
Yeah, and if you go to deborahbonham.com website, it's got all the links for all the social media.
I heard Carmine Appice gave your brother his first professional drum set when they came to the States and opened for Vanilla Fudge.
Yeah.
I know Carmine. He's a good guy. He got him. I don't know whether he gave him
Ludwig.
I think he got him a deal with Ludwig.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He might have given him a kit. I can't recall that one, but you'll have to go and find that out tonight now, Pete.
I've actually had him on my show, Carmine. I've interviewed him.
Yeah, he's great. He's a lovely, lovely man.
Yes, he's so nice.
Yeah, great band, Vanilla Fudge too. I saw them. I saw them on the same bill as Led Zeppelin, and they were fantastic.
Do you have anything to remember your brother, like sticks or anything?
I've got his jacket. I've got a couple of his jackets and a tambourine and bits and pieces, yeah. And some of his platinum discs. Yeah, I've got a few things that I treasure. But we definitely now have to go because we're now running a little bit late. So we're going to have to go and do this other interview, and it's just been really, really lovely talking to you.
Yeah, well, thank you for being on my show. The next time we talk is at the backstage at one of your shows. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jam Man.
See ya.
And we'll keep in touch with you, and we will see you over there at some point.
All right, thank you.
Jam Man, I look forward to Buffalo Wings with you backstage in New York.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love those buffalo wings, man.
Fantastic. We'll let Debbie can have the celery sticks.
I'll have the celery, of course. I will. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Cheers, Jam Man.
Lots of love and thank you so much.
No, really, it's been my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.